Let's talk about Red Bull. So Verstappen obviously ends up second. He did very well to get there. Again, just focusing on his race, as he said to his engineer before. I thought it was very telling that he was told by his engineer that he was losing zero point 0.6 seconds in a straight line to Bottas.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
It's brutal. And we also saw Hamilton. I think it was when Hamilton overtaking Vettel earlier on in the race, like lap 20 or so. The straight line speed that he had in that overtake made it look pitifully easy.
It doesn't look like they're racing in the same league, does it? When you have
he was
DRS
past him
overtake.
before the braking zone.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he had to get on the brakes to go past it. He was just already past it before they even
He
got
could
to the
brake
braking
on
zone.
the optimal line for that corner. Yeah, that's how quick he overtook that Ferrari.
But Albon in general kind of left looking a bit wanting. He was sort of crawling into 13th by about lap 38, 39. I think he'd pitted twice.
He did.
At that point.
Yeah.
He pitted for other tyres at one point. And he ended up blowing it in his battle with Norris because he lost out to Gasly as well. You know, he was going into... There was that battle that was going on. Albon, it was Norris and then Albon and then Gasly. And there's this little battle going on near in the sort of closing stages of the race. And it was quite a fun little battle. They were closely fighting each other. Albon was obviously trying to get the right move on Norris because he did have better straight line speed. He was on much fresher tyres as well. Both of those other cars were on like fresh mediums, I believe. Whereas Norris was holding out on these hards that he'd been on for pretty much the whole race up to that point. And there's some great defensive driving from Norris. He was doing really well to just get in his way. I was there sort of shouting at the screen, like, just get in his way. Just don't let him pass.
Just put the car in the middle of the track. Yeah, absolutely.
Get your elbows out, you know.
And he did.
And he did.
Norris's racecraft has come a long way over the last couple of, over the last couple of years. He hasn't been in years, but over this year, he's really starting to shine through.
Yeah, he was doing really well to put his car in all the right places. Albon, I think, was going into turn 8. Presumably, I can only assume to try and defend against Gasly. He was just sat on the inside coming into turn 8 and so got, useless traction going out of the exit, coming out of the corner because he had to sort of, go the long way around on the exit.
Yeah, it was strange actually, wasn't it?
And then Gasly was like harvesting energy, I believe, so he was able to then use his overtake to get past it.
Yeah.
And then Albon got a 5-second time penalty shortly after that. So
yeah, not good for Albon.
Who somehow looking a bit wanting.
Yeah, somehow managed to finish in P10 after all that.
Just about, yeah.
Just about. Yeah. Yeah, only just actually. Yeah, blimey.
So, Red Bull have got to be happy that Verstappen got where he did. Obviously, the Hamilton penalty would have helped, but Verstappen had a pretty solid weekend and he did very well in qualifying too. But Albon, I'm still glad that they're putting their faith in him. I know that they want him to do well. There's just obviously something that's not clicking with him in the car because I have confidence in Albon as a driver. He's obviously shown that he is capable of doing good things, but that Red Bull looks difficult to drive. And Verstappen, as we've mentioned before, is just a very different caliber of driver and is able to put it together.
And Verstappen, I don't know if Verstappen's pushing during the race. I think he gets into P3 and thinks, right, I'm not going to be able to get the Mercedes. I might as well just, I don't want to say cruise, but preserve the engine, preserve all the components of the car and settle for P3. I would like to see Verstappen go up against a driver over a couple of laps instead of just breezing past them or falling behind. So if he's going up against a Mercedes, within a lap or two, he'll be out of DRS range and he'll slip behind. And if he's overtaking anyone else, he flies past them. I want to see this guy, this great driver, fight. Like I do want to see Hamilton fight as well. I don't want to see him just drive off into the distance or do what Bottas
And we've seen it in the past. We've seen Verstappen do that in the past. But yeah, it would be nice to see it again. It seems that the mixture of the car and his quality have found him in this slightly awkward position where in the right circumstances, he can beat one, sometimes even both of the Mercedes, providing all of their tyres explode. And so it occasionally works out for him. Otherwise, he'd just be stuck behind them. But